Hi, I'm Carolyn, and today I'm going to teach you how to can peaches. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our canner on to boil. I have a pot of water. This is for dipping the peaches in to skin them. And now the first thing we have to do together is fill up a bowl, they suggest, but I have a pot of a gallon of water. So that's 16 cups. And then 2 tablespoons of both vinegar and salt. So 1, 2, that's almost done. And we're going to put the peaches in here so that they don't turn brown on us while we're working. So that's 8 cups. And this is just cold tap water. And then 2 tablespoons of salt as well. And don't worry, your peaches are not going to taste like vinegar and salt. It's just so they don't turn brown. So I'm using our Betty Crocker cookbook under the canning section. And so we have our canner on. Now we're going to dip our peaches into boiling water for 1 minute. 30 seconds to 1 minute. Now my peaches are a little ripe. I would suggest ripe peaches, but firm. Mine are a little soft, so they might fall apart a little bit. We'll see how we do. So this is just a pot of water, boiling water, and I have some peaches over here to the side. I'm just going to dip them right in. Fill it up best I can without overfilling. Okay, that's probably good. I'm going to put my timer on for 1 minute. Okay, so we'll just let that timer go off, and then we'll just rinse them off with cold water and peel them. And we're going to put them right in this pot. And it's ready to go. So I'm just going to have and scoop them out. I think I'm going to just go across the kitchen with that. And as I told you before, always wear sneakers when you're canning in case, gosh, you drop some boiling water on your foot. Let's not do that, but if you did, at least you have shoes on when you're canning. Has happened to somebody I know and love. So since then, I always wear sneakers. Okay, so that went in there. We're just going to use a little cold water to rinse them off. Alrighty. And now we'll bring them on over here. And we're just going to peel them. They should peel real easy. See how easily that peels? Do it with your fingers, or I'm going to use this little knife. Really slips off super easy. I see the point. They were peeling easy without the dipping of the water, but this is even easier. So I'll do a couple with you so you can see what I'm talking about. And then we're just going to cut it in half. These are Freestone peaches, so they should split. Nice, and then we're just going to drop it in that mixture. We're going to take out the pit. If it's not breaking too easy, I'm just going to quarter it instead. That's fine. Because they're got to go into our jars anyway. And I have wide mouth jars for peaches. They're a little easier to work with, so you just see how easily this slips off after sticking it in the water. And I'm just going to cut it in half. They're a little soft. I would recommend a little firmer than this. If the stone doesn't pop out, we can just go ahead and quarter it and pop that stone right out. It's a little messy, but these do smell delicious. I had one for breakfast, so they are delicious. And we're going to just go ahead and continue with that. Slipping off the skins and peeling them and dropping them into our vinegar and salt bath. And I'll be back in a little bit and we'll move on to the next step together. Hi, so we're back and we have all our peaches peeled and quartered or even halved in our vinegar and salt bath. And now it's time to make our simple syrup. So I'm going to make a light version, which is 2 cups of sugar to 4 cups of water. And meanwhile, they do ask that our jars be hot, so I just filled a pot with hot water and I put my jars in there. So here's a pot, and we're going to start with, here's 8 cups of water. And like I said, I'm going to make the light version, which is 2 cups of sugar to 4 cups of water. So right here would be 8 cups of water, which would be 4 cups of sugar. But I'm going to do more than that because we're going to need more. I'm pretty darn sure. I'll do two recipes. So I'll do 8 cups and 8 cups, 16 cups of water. Okay. So 16 cups of water. And then we'll get our sugar. And we need 8 cups of this. 1, 2, so that's 4 cups. And we'll go ahead and put that on the stove. And we'll heat that up. It says not to boil it, but to heat it through, to keep it hot but not boil down. So let's go ahead and let that heat up. Let me stir that. And I think I told you before that if you have wide lid, mouth jars, they're a little wider. They're nice for freezing peaches, or for canning peaches. And also, you want to always remember that this part of the process always has to be new. The canning lids, they have to be brand new. The jars can be used year after year, and so can the rings. The rings can be used year after year, but the lids have to be brand new. Okay? And then we will get a little pot going to heat these lids up. So I have a teapot in the back going. So let's wait until that heats up and we'll be back to rinse these off and we'll pack our jars. So I just checked the solution here of our sugar and water, and it says just to heat that up until it's dissolved. There's just a tiny bit left sugar I just noticed in the corner. I'm just going to stir that. In the back here I have a pot full of our lids, our brand new lids, and I'm heating those up. So now we're ready to go ahead and rinse our peaches. Remember, that is what we put our vinegar and salt, so that way they don't turn brown. So I'm just going to take them out gently because they're already soft. I don't want to bruise them. And as you see, some of them are quartered, some are halved. It really doesn't matter. It just was a matter of how I needed to take them out of the off the pit. And if you found a bruise spot while you were taking your skins off, I hope you went ahead and cut that bruise spot out. Okay. We'll start with this. It's nice and full. And we're just going to get some cold water and go ahead and rinse that salt and vinegar off. And I can remember having these peaches when we were little. We would have them when we came in from playing outside. So it is a nice little treat, I'll be honest with you, to have some fresh Jersey peaches in the wintertime. So I'm going to take one of our jars, just rinse, take that out. We'll take a funnel, or you don't have to use a funnel if you don't have one. As a matter of fact, I think you're better off not using a funnel since it's a wide mouth. And we're supposed to face the center of the peach down. So if we can get that to go down, that'd be great. We might have to put our hand in there. Of course, nice clean hands when we're working. So we're facing the peaches down and kind of having them fit in there like a puzzle. We're going to fit as many peaches as we can. Yeah, now they're fitting nice. See how beautiful some of them, the pits. And we're going to leave a 1/2 inch headroom there, so that's probably about it. To the bottom of the rim there, maybe one more here I can squeeze in. Okay, and now how does our syrup looks good. I'm going to go ahead and take it off the stove and bring it over here. Please be careful working with all this hot stuff. I'm going to slide my lids up to the front and let me choose a ladle here. I think I will use my funnel for the syrup. So this is just a very light syrup, and I'm just going to put it into our jars. And we're going to fill it up to that bottom line there. Okay, and I have this, but you could use a spatula if you have that. And we're just going to get all the air bubbles out. Press around the edges. Really work it. You don't want any air bubbles. Air bubbles are not your friend when it comes to canning. They will break your jar. So we don't want any air bubbles. We're going to press those peaches in. It looks good. Make sure we didn't miss a step. I'll check our cookbook. Spatula, then we're just going to wipe the rim. They use a towel. I like to use paper towels. So I just like to especially wipe the top because that's where our seal's going to be, and then along the edges as well. So wipe that nice. Use my little magnet to get one of our lids out. I'll put that on there. One of my rings. And we're going to hand tighten this, but we're not going to tighten it so much that the jar breaks. And we're going to take our lid off. Remember, this is always hot, so when you take it off, you can either use a towel or an oven mitt. And I have a tool to take this and put it in. Here we go. This is kind of a nice tool. And we're going to start placing them into our canner. Pop that down. Now we won't start counting until we have all our jars in and the water starts to boil. Gentle boil, we want a gentle boil. And we're going to boil quart jars for 30 minutes. So we'll go ahead and continue to fill our jars, add our simple syrup, remove the air, add our wipe the rim, and then put our lids on and put them into our canner. I'll go ahead and continue that. And I'll come back when the canner is full and has boiled for 30 minutes. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Hi, we're back. It's time to pull our peaches out of the canner. So I'm just going to grab a towel, take that lid off, turn down our canner or turn off our canner. I grab my little tool. And let's hope they're all okay. Sometimes when we pull them out, we'll have a broken jar, which you really can't prevent. You can check your jars for cracks and do the best you can. Get all your air out. And then we'll make sure they're sealed. As long as they're sealed, you can move them after 12 hours. I usually wait 24 hours. And I wanted to let you know when I double checked my cookbook, that the syrup should have actually been a medium syrup, which is 3 cups of sugar to 4 cups of water, or a heavy syrup, which is 4 3/4 cups of sugar to 4 cups of water. I think I'm going to be okay, but I just wanted to make sure that you had the right recipe. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our canning segment, and I hope you give it a chance. And if you liked it, you can like our Facebook page, leave a comment. If you want us to cook or can or freeze something for you, just let us know. And we also have other things on our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.